since yesterday, but I was asked to be here because of the sensitive nature of this event. And one thing I must tell you is that why is NBC always in Lagos? Is because of the security situation of Lagos. So I must give kudos to the Nigerian Police Force, Lagos Command. I must tell you that every hotel in Ikeja today is fully booked. All events is now centered Abuja, Lagos. It's because of the caliber of people already working in Lagos. So kudos to Nigerian Police Force. And I must tell you, let me borrow a leaf from Antibebo about Ife. The way we met was also a bit confrontational. And she's really a go-getter. That was important. As a regulator, I had the privilege of calling her on phone. That's the first action. To tell her that I can't tolerate somebody making unnecessary claim, deceiving Nigerians, that he can use one medicine to cure all manner of things. But if he or her frank manner said, but the people said they've settled NBC, I was very, very happy. And I was out to ensure that let them provide that person that was settled. And in my own usual style, I placed a fine on Ife's station. Wow. And ensure that that money was paid, since they cannot provide the person they settled. And that is the art of regulation. Nothing personal, but that's how it's supposed to be. Because you don't come on air and use the airwave to deceive Nigerians. And the people taught us that. And that is the hallmark of the type of job we do. And I must tell you that in Lagos, we have about 47 radio stations, about 14 terrestrial TV stations. Look at the cable and all the rest of them. Who's supposed to regulate the broadcast industry? It's all of us. It's every Nigerian. It's not just NBC. NBC, we are only there to coordinate regulation. And we were all taught about self-regulation. And how do we self-regulate ourselves? One good about our industry is that there is a broadcasting code. I always see my job as a referee, a football referee. I don't need to admire your style of play. I don't need to admire whether you are Messi or Ronaldo. But my own duty is to apply the law. And the law is clearly stated. We don't censor the brokers because the regulation is clearly stated. Don't do this, rather do this. So I most appreciate this gathering. And when we now look at the topic of fake news and the security situation in the country, we can see what is happening. Let me give you a little scenario. Last week, I listened to a broadcast, one of our stations. It was a very sensitive issue. And that was centered on the job seeker that they killed in Akwa Ibom. And the journalists did a very wonderful job. And everybody is interested in that story. But one institution was lampooned along the line. And which institution is that? Nigerian Police. That broadcast went on for more than 1 hour. Phone calls and every other thing. And after that, I called the station on phone. You did a wonderful job. He said, okay, thank you, sir. I said, yes, you did a very wonderful job. But were you able to get in touch with a police command Akwa Ibom State on this story? He said, no. please, they have a right of reply. Get in touch with them within 48 hours and get back to us so that they will tell you their own side of the story. That's what the code says. Again, we now look back with what is happening in places like Southeast and South-South. They are human beings. We in the media have also used our own little power to create insecurity on their own side. What do we do to help the situation? That is what all of us are supposed to do, to ensure that policemen and women, they also our brothers and sisters, they also have parents and all the rest of them. So what we are doing is regulation. We are not there for any reason to harm anybody. So, Auntie Bimbo, you are still my auntie, but I must try in one way or the other for us to do our work. So, the issue of how do we get there? If you have said a lot, if you have done a wonderful job, I must appreciate KBSC. KBSC laid the foundation for whatever thing we are discussing now. And the media, we have a lot to do when it comes to security situation in the country. He made mention of what happened in Rwanda in 1994. It was all fueled by a broadcast by their own local stations. And over 800,000 people were killed in less than 100 days. Please, let us go back and reflect on that. Let us not degenerate to what happened in Rwanda to happen in Nigeria. The type of broadcast that is coming out is very, very dangerous. KBSC also made mention of the use of social media. Nobody is saying that you shouldn't use social media. But as a broadcaster, you must verify whatever thing you put out. And that is very clear. So, if along the line you err, you have to be sanctioned. And there's different categories of sanction. But the question is, how did we get there? We must find a solution to that problem. I must assure you in this house that we have to take it further. And in taking it further is that we have to embark on training. Thank God that I've seen Auntie Bimbo. She's very active and very agile. Ma'am, I will definitely call her. NBC on our own, we will try to do something in area of training. Last year, we have a proposal to train our young broadcasters. But COVID disrupted it along the line. We really need to reactivate that issue. And CB, we'll also call on you, and if we have to collaborate. Because insecurity is very, very important. And security is very, very important. So we really, all of us need to put our hands together and see how we salvage the situation. I know what if he says, how did we get there? What she's looking for is solution to our problem. And that solution is what I, as a regulator, will try as much as possible to bring forward. And when we have people like Auntie Bimbo and the CP, who is also a journalist, and the IFI, and most of us here, we make a proposal and put something forward so that our young journalists and we actually benefit from our knowledge.